then as we jump into the final map here of Lulu's Throwdown presented by Monster Energy, someone in that first place team, if they win our Monster Energy $1,000 MVP, that's 24,000 in total prize money that could go to first. Of course, that 1,000 going to a player that we will have to decide based on how this map concludes. So here we go. Joewo is ready to rock. We saw Knight's team for just a moment. But it's Team Knight, Team Adapt that have been jockeying back and forth for first and second place. Team Knight took maps 3, 4, and 5. Team Adapt took maps 2 and 7, hoping to take map 8.
All right. Here we go. A ton of teams vying for the top 5. Some already there, some just outside. Team Joewo, you heard him say it. Let's go, boys. Let's go. They are just a few points outside of the top 5, according to the leaderboard. If you want to take a chance to look at the leaderboard before we finish up this map, type in !leaderboard and head over to the Boom website, boomtv/Lulu, to see where that leaderboard's at currently. All unofficial, as we make sure all of those results are correct and they're uploaded to the site. But a very tight race at the top. There's a sizable gap, Katie, like you were talking about on the leaderboard, from the first and second place teams to the rest of the teams, according to the leaderboard. But even still, it's anybody's game. And I think the team on your screen right now could surprise some folks and sneak up into the top 2 should things go their way this map around.
I think that's a great point, right? Like, yes, there's a gap between some of these teams, but keep in mind, all it takes is Team Knight and perhaps Team Adapt going down early or just not being able to find the kills, having something go wrong, that opens the door for Swagg, Queen Eliminator, even Team Aydan's team, who knows, to be able to make plays for second place, maybe even first place, although that one could be a bit trickier. As we did see this leaderboard get updated, Hisoka on your screen right now is 152.2 points right now for Hisoka's team. That will be the second place score, as believed from, of course, Team Queen Eliminator shooting bodies. We're waiting to see the update on Team Knight's score goes, but right now, 152.2 is second place's scoreline.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, and believe, like you said, shooting bodies also getting the better of some of the other competition that is fighting and jockeying inside the top 5. So that's a big kill. It almost counts as double. You can think about it that way, of like grabbing a kill from somebody that you're fighting against and getting a score tally for your team. So a huge win there for Believe. But yeah, this is the squad to watch for sure. Several other teams in the area as well. They need to continue doing what they do best, which is play hyper aggressive, get early kills, so they don't have to worry about it in the end game. They can worry about staying alive. Whereas on other teams, they're going to do a lot of the same. Aydan shifty, pushing the fights, pushing the aggression. Swagg yet again, always in the blender, always in the mix, because, well, you have to be. It's Resurgence.
Where'd he go?
You have to be, and that's something that most of these players are going to be comfortable with, but some maybe not so much. You have to be constantly in the mix of things. There's not going to be a lot of breathing room, but take a look at that on the move. How quickly is Swagg going to be back into things instantaneously? To hopefully be able to get his loot with call-outs from the teammates. Hopefully clear to do so. They'll jump right back into things. Still all 9 teams alive and well. A few maps now where we've had teams go out early, but we'll see if that's the case here or if we'll get the chaos of everyone still alive by the time the Resurgence counter closes.
Yeah, I like this circle too. It's nothing crazy chaotic. This is going to feel like a fairly traditional game of Vondel, I feel like, and comes down to, obviously, high ground positions like this. Swagg in trouble. There's just not enough cover when there's a team on rooftops nearby. We've been talking about this since the very top of show. We're talking about some of the strategies, and rooftop control is everything. There's Hisoka picking up Smixy, doing a lot of the same.
I'm finding you, kid. I'm finding you, kid.
Sage pushes the fight once they've grabbed player advantage, and Hisoka's trying to play backup. They lose Sage in the process, though. Could this be bait? Could there be 2 at the top with a couple Simtexes? No. There's a knock. Let's see if you can play Clayton.
You're not going nowhere, buddy.
Not going nowhere.
I got another U. I'm gonna pop another U.
Sit down. You can run. You can hide. Believe can shoot.
Keep playing height, baby. Keep taking our time. Take our time with these breakdowns.
We'll call out that UAV, and you can see it right after the chaos is over. They take a moment to
look at these kids on this side. Yo, we get free picks. Play this side. Yo, break this kid down over here. Break this kid down over here.
Fly back like that can be very important. You can get some
He's
shots
next to me. Stealth vest right behind me.
The calls from Hisoka, constant communication alongside with that UAV. Could be a nice amount of kills here for them on the horizon, as long as they don't get mortared.
Shouldn't be too much issues.
Yep, I got you. I got
Here we go. Pushing the fight. Soka clutches up, takes down
We're here for the
Noobs.
trade. Let's go.
Nice trades across the board. Still yet to see a full team wipe in the kill feed thus far. Folks at home, I'm getting word from production. The leaderboard has been updated and things are shifting. Things are changing. And it is close at the top. Team Adapt with Soka,
I have another UE, by the way, in
Sage,
pocket.
frying throughout the entirety of this tournament. Hyper consistent. 152.2 points in second place is Team Knight, the winners of several of these maps. As we see FIFA Kill, the only team to fall thus far, 19th place. 152 points. 0.2 points separate the top two teams in Lulu's Throwdown, and we wouldn't have it any other way, Katie.
0.2 points. Team Knight. Yeah, you might have won one more map than Hisoka's team, but you still got
above me.
now both of these teams neck and neck, essentially a tie for
Yo, double
first.
towel me, Sage. Come here. He's on the stairs.
Just barely swaying in Team Hisoka's favor. Now that is massively bad news for Team FIFA Kill to be the first team eliminated. Why? Because they are in.
Wait, he's close. Get ready for
They're only about 4 points ahead of Team Joewo. So based on how this just went, Goat, very likely that Team FIFA Kill might drop down out of the top
He's
5.
first floor under. Adapt.
Payouts in this tournament. That would be a heartbreaker for them. But of course, it's all about Team Knight, all about Team Adapt, and the absolute dominant show that they put on these 8 maps. But it's not done yet. Hisoka, though, 5 eliminations already, 51 players on the map. Resurgence alive and well. They could be farming for a while as they catch another player out. And who is that? Adrian, who falls. Can you scramble away with your life? The bounty is down. Hisoka should have time to stabilize. A good series from them and on their way toward double digits.
Get back to the roof.
6 already going crazy. Soka is locked in. Folks at home, this is the makings of an incredible finale, a final map between Knight and Hisoka. What is going on over there? Somebody on Rational trying to snipe from distance, maybe. I don't know, but a free pickup, and now Hisoka taking a bit of fire and not worried about it at all. Cracks plates, continues the pace of play. Sage in trouble. Hisoka continues throwing bullets down range, but getting peeked at from a couple different angles. Finds another knock, and I think that might be Rumble on the other side as well.
I bet I was broke.
8 eliminations, Hisoka. The time between engagements for him so minimal, and he is making it count. But we got to swing over to Knight. This is the team that's been in first almost the entirety of the tournament and now relegated to second place by 0.2 points. We'll have to see how it plays out, but it's not necessarily good news for Team Knight if you see Knight on 1 elimination and Hisoka, who was on 8. Although I imagine Cap and Z-Smith should have their fair share, but what a battle between these two trios and an amazing series of maps from them. But a loadout early on, that's what you're going to want to see, and they're going to need to pick up the pace because Hisoka has not stopped. Sage back into the action. Could be able to get Adapt and Sage the utility and plates they need to continue farming these kills.
Under me, like a team on me.
Yeah, I'm looking at the leaderboard, and of course, these two teams are vying
they're
for the
playing
top
the stairs
spots.
across from us, A-Dizzle.
But of course,
these stairs right there.
Scummin with Queen Eliminator is not close, but not that far behind. It's Team Swagg fighting and jockeying for that 3rd place with Team Queen Eliminator. So almost 2 different races going on right now, and FIFA Kill was in that conversation, but got wiped in 19th. So you're right, they're out of money. It's going to be Team Joewo, the only other team that can contend for top 3. But we're still watching top 2, and all of a sudden, guess who's playing? Spoiler, it's Biffle. This is Swagg's team coming in and grabbing a couple eliminations. Soka in trouble. Sage in trouble. Last alive with 20 seconds and counting and getting shot at. He's got to stay up at this point.
20 seconds, not a lot of time unless you've got all these players hunting you down. Sage sees them around the corner, but they miss him just barely. The squad eliminated as he hits the ground. 17th place for the team that's in first by just 0.2 points. Surely, Team Knight, surely, if they can say it, they see it, Goj, that Sage's team is wiped. They know that the team in contention for first place is down. You might be down in kills right now, but now you have a whole map to play slow, systematic, steady. Get those kills, get that placement, and close this out.
Unreal circumstances. They had such a strong start, and This team's... They're not out of the weeds yet. It's not over yet. They have to keep pushing the pace. They have to keep getting kills. Their opponents, yes, they went down to 17 to get 0 kill multipliers, but they did have probably 10 points on the board when they died, at least. So you still got to grab some kills, but you're right. Like, the onus of responsibility has been massively reprieved. I mean, you're talking about what was going to be a fight to the very last kill now becomes a race against the clock for all intents and purposes. Unbelievable circumstances, and it almost feels like the race of like the tortoise and the hare, right? You had Knight capture. Sure, they dropped some banger games. Sure, they dropped a ton of kills, but they're playing kind of the systematic go for wins type play style that worked for them. 3 under their belt and a 2nd place. The other side, Sage, their crew was just flying at every kill they could get, and unfortunately the hare burnt out. One mistake at the end cost them 1st place, but it might be enough to secure 2nd. Couple more teams kind of battling and jockeying for position here. If we can assume that Knight's going to win this thing, who's going to get 2nd? Who's going to get 3rd? There's other teams that can knock them out of that 2nd place spot and take away thousands of dollars in cash from them. And on paper, this is one of those teams. With FIFA out of the picture, who is in 5th place, this team's in 6th. Not only are they vying for money in general, they're vying for top 3. Maybe even top 2 here, Katie, if the rest of the teams also struggle.
Yeah, this is going to be tricky, though, because Team Adapt, who was eliminated, they're at 152.2 points. That is a 7... Ignoring the amount of kills they had in Map 8, which we know at minimum was 8 from Hisoka, that's a 17-point gap between Team Adapt and Team Queen Eliminator, who are in 3rd place. So it's going to need to be a decent score line from Queen Eliminator if they want to take 2nd place, depending on what happens with Team Knight. So there's cushions there for Team Adapt, but Team Knight, wow. What an opening for them. Dominance all day long. Hisoka's team nipping at their heels, and then some missteps in the final map might allow them to seal the deal.
Wow. Crazy circumstances and a lot of math still to be done, but you're right. Team Queen Eliminator, Team Swagg, Team Joewo, those are the teams we're watching out for. And speaking of Team Joewo, Iceman Isaac actually just wiped Ebates. Well, here's Queen Eliminator squad, and this was the 3rd place team going into this map. 135 points. You called it 17-point deficit to overcome, and a nice trade here means that all 3, no make it 2, are alive. Resurgence is disabled. Here come the final moments of the final map of Lulu's Throwdown. And this could be a multi-$1,000 map here for Scum and Believe in Queen Eliminator. And I was talking about it before, Katie. All incredibly talented. Of course, Scum and Believe have been around the block competing. But Queen Eliminator has kind of been lurking in the shadows of the competition stages, always running chows, doing competitive formats on and wagers on her own stream. So this isn't somebody they just kind of randomly picked up that's a non-Warzone pro. Like, Queen Eliminator can fry, and it's been showing today. Queen Eliminator actually taking down Biffle, Sage, and the likes of those players earlier in the last couple maps. I mean, they're playing great together. Even if Queen Eliminator is playing the anchor, she can fry out when needed. And 3rd place is impressive, but I think there's a good chance they take 2nd here if they have a decent amount of kills.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Again, we know the deficit right now is 17 plus X. That X being how many total kills did Team Adapt have before they were eliminated. We know they had no placement modifier, so it's just going to be 17 plus whatever that number was is the number Queen Eliminator's team is going to need to beat. They want to take 2nd place. Who knows? I mean, considering how close Team Knight is as well, could have a crazy outcome where they take 1st. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be Team Knight looking to close things out. 2 eliminations here for Knight himself. I don't know what the rest of the team's working with. A little bit low on the elimination side, especially with Resurgence disabled, but we'll see how they play it out. If anything, I think it's crucial for them right now to take 1st place to simply deny that top multiplier from anyone else, particularly Queen Eliminators.
That's right. Job's not done. It just is a bit easier if you're Team Knight. My big question is Joewo's team alive at all? I saw Ebates get wiped. I didn't see the full team wipe come through. We're into the top 9, so our new multiplier has been achieved, but we're still waiting for the top, and it is Joe last alive for his team. 1 kill to boot. Been playing anchor all day. A dirty role. A role that doesn't get a lot of recognition, but a crucial one. A chance to put them in the money if they're not already there, and a chance for even more than that. but in a very tough situation, especially without a gas mask. Goes for a massive wide wrap with little to no help. He's going to be out of there, gone, done and dusted. Joe's out inside the top 9. Decent multiplier. Will it be enough for money? Likely. Will it be enough for more than 5th? Probably not. Looking back to the team at the top, a chance to go big. If they make top 5, it's 100% confirmed they're going to be in first place, at least over the second place team. Queen Eliminator's team, the only team within reaching distance, the only team that could play spoiler. And it might come down to those 2 final teams for the final fight. Both still alive. And really the only teams that we're paying attention to at this point. I think Swagg's team must be out of it. All 3 up as Belief falls. Scummin, Queen Eliminator, last 2 alive for their team. They need to make top 5 to make sure. And now it's just Scummin. But he's got a durable gas mask.
Durable gas mask, but you got someone at the end of the hallway. You cannot afford to die here. I think if you want to get second place potentially, you need that multiplier, and that's exactly what you get. Another team falls, just 11 players left. You've guaranteed yourself the second best multiplier. Takes down Z-Smith, part of Team Knight, the team in first place. This could be absolutely massive. If Scummin can get it done, turns around, able to connect, not enough to get it down, but the smokes are there to provide cover, and now we swing back over to Knight himself, leading the charge, the picture-in-picture as these 2 teams battle it out, ignoring all others. And it is Knight who falls. It is Scummin who is doing everything he can. Every single player. Scummin is picking them apart. Can't seal the deal. Takes 5th place, but goes out with 11 eliminations. The second best multiplier. Very well could be enough to put them into second place. But now, as we take a breath in all this chaos, Kenz's team is alive. You have someone flying in.
Dropping in.
But there we go. Should be a kill for them. A team wipe. And
Z
Z-Smith's team goes down. Z-Smith says, I think we won. 4th place, the same multiplier as Scummin's team, but my goodness, the chaos. None of the top 3 teams surviving to the very end.
I'm watching under you.
I am not jealous of the admin's math they have to do to determine who gets second and who gets third. I think I can do the math for first, but let's tune in to see if there's anybody else that can threaten top 5. And of course, they're playing for $750 here as well. Attract on your screen currently looking for a victory. Obviously being spectated by Tommy from the Red Bull Arena. But oh, nice shots from over. Looks for a kill here. Should be able to grab it. Now final 2. On the other side, Attract should win this with his teammates. They find the final player. They find the final win. Congratulations, Team Attract. Walking away with $750 as a team just for winning it. But now the math begins, Katie. It's time. Who comes out on top? Who gets second? Who gets third in Lulu's Throwdown? All presented by Monster Energy. It's been an incredible day of competition. But there is still 40 some odd $1,000 to be given out. And it all comes down to the math.
I don't even know.
It all comes down to the math, and that's why I'm here in the booth with you, Coach, because we're going to let our very smart admins, everyone behind the scenes, figure out exactly who has come out on top. And it really all started with Team Adapt going down so early in that final map, something we did not expect, but it opened the door for Team Queen Eliminator to make their play for second place. I think by the fact, as we take a look at these replays, that Team Knight was also able to get the same multiplier as Queen Eliminator's team. I don't know if they had as many kills because Scummin had 11 on its own. They should maybe be okay for first, but at this point, toss it all up in the air, see where the chips land, go hand out for second and third, and of course, fourth and fifth will be the teams with direct payouts if you did not win one of the maps for the $750. And of course, our Monster Energy MVP Coach that we still have to figure out based on these final placements.
That's exactly right. There's a lot of names circulating in my brain. I don't know who we're gonna pick yet, but there's a couple front runners, of course. Some of the heroic performances of Sage, Capture, even there, Huskerrs a couple times made a great play with his team, and Scummin here goes massive, not able to quite clutch up a win, but gets a couple kills to boot that are multiplied, of course, with the second highest multiplier. And a nice win here from Kansas squad to potentially grab 750 for the W. Probably won't be enough to put them inside the top 5, but still a great tournament nonetheless. Ridiculously close at the top of the leaderboard though, Katie. Again, you were right. Team Knight, they were down by 0.2 points. Team Adapt, who's been playing incredible all day today. Hyper aggressive. Sage grabbing double-digit kills nearly every single map, going buck wild. They were leading by 0.2 points going into that last map, and they just had a tough shake. Same thing with FIFA, who was in the top 5, right? And gets dropped out in 19th. Just tough shake. And when we talked about consistency being king, this is what we're talking about. One mistake could cost you thousands of dollars.
Well, can we talk about the true champion of this entire tournament in chat right now? Lululuvely herself. Lulu's throwdown wouldn't be here without you. I hope that AC gets fixed ASAP. This tournament has been so fun for all the competitors, Lulu herself included, as we wait to see again who our top 5 teams are. Of course, who first places. But Goach, it's been a ton of fun. And I see, look, so many of our competitors in chat doing an amazing job. But Goach, I gotta ask, how much of that Monster Energy's left in that can?
Not a lot. I mean, I'll take one more swig of it. I gotta remind everybody at home, while we're talking about Monster Energy, they made this all possible. Go check out the command !monster to head over to the site so that you can get in-game exclusive content in Modern Warfare 3. Monster's been awesome to work with throughout this entire event, and they've been keeping me up, and I think they've been keeping the unofficial potential winners up, as I know my boy Knight was slugging some monsters as well. So grab a monster, get some in-game exclusive content, type in !monster in the chat to go to that website so you can get your in-game content. And thank you to Monster for making this all possible.
Yeah, thank you to Monster. Thank you to Lulu. Of course, Boom, everyone else behind the scenes. As again, I know we got some folks maybe saying something in chat, but we gotta wait until we get confirmation from the admins on just exactly who came out on top, how everything played out. But it's been such a fun race to watch Team Adapt, Team Knight, and Team Queen Eliminator, because again, we were what, 3-4 maps in, Goats, before we were looking at the leaderboard and we were like, wait a minute, Queen Eliminator's team's frying. Hold on, we need to go spectate them, because it seemed like this back and forth between Adapt and Knight's teams, but really you just had Queen Eliminator, Scummin, and Believe doing work across the map the entire time. Scummin's 11 eliminations, I think one of the highest individual kill counts we saw throughout the day. So really, hats off to them. We'll have to wait as everything gets finalized. But Goj, our Monster Energy MVP, I know we were talking about it. We've had some names, Capture floating around, Sage floating around. If you had to pick someone from Queen Eliminator's team that you might want to throw into contention, who would you pick?
It's hard. I mean, Scummin obviously went big in the final moments there, not only getting 5th, but also getting several kills, which are then multiplied by our 1.3 times multiplier. Like, there's a lot that goes through my head when picking this MVP. I want to hear who chat thinks. Now, they might be biased because there are a lot of them are players.
I like it.
I want to hear who chat thinks should be the Monster Energy MVP of the tournament. We've got names we've been talking about all day. Some certain people that have been putting up crazy numbers, definitely fueled by Monster Energy. You can type me if you want, but I want to hear from chat. We're going to make that decision after broadcast. It'll all be posted on social. So make sure you go follow Monster Energy. Make sure you go follow Lulu on all major socials. And of course, it'll be posted by Boom, who did all the lovely work here in production booth. Shout out to Boom. Leaderboard, everything was being updated by them. Excited to see what the leaderboard shakes up to be. When it takes long like this, Katie, it usually comes down to a point. So they got to double, triple check everything before it's announced on broadcast, which I love. It always makes it so exciting to sit here and talk to the chat for a little while before things get official. And I know we've had some watch parties going on as well, so thanks to all the watch partiers out there. It's been fun to tune into that between during the breaks and stuff. You know, Pulse Check's always here watching the tourneys. Always got something to say about what's going on. They were shouting out Hisoka for his trash talk, and I totally agree. But all right, standings already. Katie, you want to take it, or do you want me to take it?
I would love to take it away. And well, I'm seeing the names of the team that came in first coming up in chat when we talk about the Monster Energy MVP, and for good reason, Goj, because it is Team Knight in first place with 104 total kills, an average placement of 5.67, and 172.8 total points. In second place, it is Team Adapt with an average placement of 4.5, 164.2 points. You have Team Queen Eliminator in third place with 158.4 points. And then it's Team Swagg and Team FIFA Kill rounding out fourth and fifth. So massive congratulations to our top 5. And of course, Team Knight, not only did you win 3 maps and get second in a fourth, but you dominated from start to finish.
domination across the board. Here's your winners. Knight, Capture, Z-Smith. You all played fantastic. We still got to pick out an MVP, but incredible performance from the dominators of Vondel. It was to be expected to some level, but still there were some people out there left wanting, thinking, can the Resurgence Demons do it? Do they have enough competitive experience? Have you seen Knight and Z-Smith play together? Adding in Capture is just too OP. They closed it out in an incredible fashion. I got to give a shout out to the Joewo squad, 6th place overall, just barely missing the mark by 1 point, I believe. Yes, quite literally 1 point at the end of the day, and a big heroic effort there from Scummin as well, only missing out on 2nd place by 6 points, just under 6 points. That could have been remedied with a win in that final map rather than a 5th place, by the way. Just a tiny hair difference between thousands of dollars across the board. That's why we love these types of tournaments. That's why we love this competition. So shout out to Monster Energy again and Lululuvely for making this all possible. This has been a blast here in the booth, and hopefully all of our players